Hi, I'm Dan. Welcome to my shop and thanks for buying a Kilpo LowBack bar stool. If your stool required lower stretchers, this video will help you put those together. So first order of business is unpacking the box, the crate. You can use a screw gun if you want or by hand. Spread everything out, nice open space with a carpet preferably. And I like to use a cookie tin, a baking sheet for the hardware. So this video will help you set up those stretchers, and then you'll pass on to the other video, which I've included a link in your box and by email for the rest of the assembly. It's easy, and if you have any issues, feel free to reach out. So the difference between this and the video that covers general assembly is the stretchers, this sort of structure that's at footrest level that keeps the back legs, it adds a little bit more strength for an extra tall bar stool. The footrest is this thinnest piece. You'll see that it's numbered on the inside. This one is number 1. So this one is going to go with the number 1 side pieces and the number 1 cross pieces. It's good to organize before you start setting up all the number 1s, all the number 2s, all the number 3s, depending on how many chairs you have. So this longest of the 2 short pieces that both say number 1, of the 2 narrow pieces, the longer one is going to be the footrest in the front of the chair. The chair sort of narrows towards the back, it's a trapezoid. And the shorter piece that's the same width as the footrest is going to be the back. These holes that have the hardware are towards the inside of the chair. So I've got the front piece with the nice side facing out, and the back piece also with the nice side facing back and the holes towards each other. You'll see that it has some threaded metal inserts on the inside. And in your hardware, you'll have some threaded rods. Let's put 1 rod into each of those inserts. Okay. This cross piece is what connects the front footrest with the back stretcher. And it is also numbered on the inside of these holes. These numbers will later help you figure out which square caps to use so that everything fits flush. They have dedicated square caps that go by letters, and we'll get to that at the end of the second video. I've written front on the front end of this cross piece. The back end has an angle, which is sort of angled up, down, towards the front. We're going to put that in with where it says front towards the front and the letters so that you can read them, the top surface up. And just drop that down on the threaded rod. Once that's done, you'll take a small bent washer, place it on the threaded rod, and put a nut next. Hand tighten at the end when everything is all together. That's the best time to go ahead and use a wrench to tighten everything up. Just enough, don't go overboard with the tightening. This nut, the easiest way to do it is to sort of place it on top of the threaded rod, hold with 1 finger, this is difficult to see with the camera, and then use a finger from another hand to twist it on. So that it's easier to see, I'm putting a nut on top of the threaded rod, putting a finger on top of that, and then using my forefinger to twist it clockwise so that it begins threading. Once it's begun threading, it's easy to just continue tightening. So finger tight, I'll put that back the way it went with the flat edge forward of the larger part and the smaller member flat edge up, and we'll put that threaded rod into its hole and do the same thing. Goes. Okay, so this is going to be the lower assembly. Right now it's loose, which is fine. We'll move this to the side and begin working on one of the laterals. So the holes that are closest to the feet, where the lower assembly will connect, also have 2 threaded inserts. You'll put your 2 threaded rods there. Don't use any tools for this. Thread them in hand tight as far as possible. And you'll take 2 dowels and put them in the dowel holes. Now this entire assembly is going to sit, we're going to lift it up and sit it down on the lateral. Let's be careful that the front piece is towards the front of the chair and the shorter back piece is towards the back. So I've got this longer piece in this hand and the shorter piece in this hand, sort of oriented properly for the chair, and I'm just going to drop it on to the threaded rods. There's one, there's another, and once you've got the threaded rods in, you'll find the hole for the dowel, it'll sit in. And we'll do the same thing with the bent washers and the nuts, and then continue on following the other video. It's the same idea. We're going to be putting the stretchers, the top pieces on, and then the other lateral. And that's it. So, thanks again, and good luck.